Hello, everyone, and welcome to CAA Today. This is our Week 1 show, our post-Week 1 show. And we do have some sad news to start off. Unfortunately, we lost our previous conference commissioner, Youngstown State head coach, and overall just a great person. We lost Bernie. He has decided to retire from the league. And so we want to extend our great best wishes to him. Hope he does well post retirement. Let me see if I can get Ryan unmuted here. Don't know how to do that, but can you talk now? Question mark. Still no perms. Okay. Maybe one of the commissioners could do it. But for now, yeah, we lost Bernie. That's the gist of it. We do have some new coordinators, Snoop and Lancer. I think officially, Snoop is the Youngstown State head coach for the rest of the season, and Lancer will stay at Youngstown State. And then at the beginning of next season, we'll see Snoop and Lancer come together. Snoop will be the offensive coordinator, and Lancer will be the defensive coordinator for that Youngstown State team. Still trying to get Ryan Perms here. I cannot seem to find the button. I will continue on, unless Matt has something you want to say to the general news.
Now we can just keep going.
Keep going, power through. Okay, I'm still going to try to figure out if there's like a role that I can click here that'll give him perms. Because as for now, I can't unperm him or like unmute him. I can only kick him from the call, and I don't want to do that. Anyways, we move. We have some new commissioners in the CAA after a quick vote, something that I am very good at now, voting. We have new co-commissioners in Edge from Villanova, and we have new co-commissioner Matt from Delaware State. I don't know if you have anything to say to that, Matt?
Not much. I'm just looking forward to working with Edge and hopefully keeping things right on track just keep things what am I saying? Keeping things going at a good pace, hopefully. Looking forward to doing that.
We're excited to have you as commissioners, both you and Edge. And I'm going to send a quick message in the chat here. As we still struggle to find somewhere to give perms to Ryan and Cece, who should be talking, but are not right now. So we move to our Week 1 scoreboard. Our first game was Duquesne at Stetson. Duquesne stormed ahead and never looked back. And turnovers were the name of the game here. Duke's forced like 4 turnovers, I want to say, and outperformed the Hats, winning by a score of 25-18. And this is not what I expected. If I'm being honest, I expected a big win from Stetson, seeing how well that the Hat did last season, I should say. And so this was kind of uncharacteristic, but I'm very happy for Val. She seems to be doing it very well as a Duquesne coach, and we will see what happens next week as Val plays Jacksonville.
I was not expecting either to see Val win by 17 this week, but it's a good surprise. So, game next week should be good.
Okay, so our next game was the first of four between Montana State and Morgan State. This was the game of the week out of the whole of the conference, or whole of the subdivision, I should say. And this one was an absolute, mauling of Morgan State. Danny just blanked him, winning 24-0. And Morgan State looks to recover next week when they play, you guessed it, Montana State. But this time they'll be at home. They'll be away at Montana. This week was at Morgan State. Next week, I'm not going to predict anything because I was very wrong with my prediction in this game. But I'll be interested to see how Ryland plans to recover after a big loss.
Yeah, it seems like it should hopefully be a temporary setback for Ryland. He's got 3 more shots, so the next couple should be more competitive.
Hopefully. Next game, Robert Morris and Florida A&M. I called the upset here as Robert Morris was able to sneak away against Slow, winning 14-10 in a low-scoring battle. This is not very common for Robert Morris. I mean, we saw them score lots and lots of points last year. They put up 52 against me, winning by like 3. They put up 58 or 55 against Duquesne. I mean, Robert Morris is not known for its defense. They're known for its offense. And yet in this game, the defense was able to shine and only allowed Florida A&M to score twice. So it was very a pleasant surprise for Robert Morris.
Yeah, I was surprised as well, but then when I looked at the thread on 12-12, I noticed that Robert Morris used the chew clock mechanic extensively, so it took him like 5 minutes per drive or something really high like that. So the score looks low just because of the nature of how Robert Morris plays, but after seeing that, I'm not as surprised as I originally was.
Yep. I did call that, I want to say, so I'm very happy with that. Next game here, Southern Utah at Towson, and Towson just absolutely went for it here, getting just under 350 yards of offense while holding OSU kid to 177. Good looks from the Tigers as they won the game by a score of 42-10. And Mr. D, I mean, with recent news, the door is just wide open for Mr. D.
Yeah, he's playing out of his mind recently. I mean, I was not expecting him to just come out and just roll over Southern Utah like this, but just congratulations to him. If he's not ranked even high next week, I'll be very disappointed in the coaches poll.
I mean, I won't make any promises. Obviously, the coaches poll is really an interesting way to give coaches rankings. But for now, it is just. I hope they get ranked. I wish the Tigers were ranked. They deserve it. I don't think anyone else is questioning that, but it's a question of whether or not the coaches poll recognizes that. Next game here, Villanova at Chattanooga. This one was a close one, just like it was last season. But Chattanooga was able to pull it out at the end, winning 34-28. Nothing of note here, but it was pretty close. I will say that. And Villanova just couldn't close it out.
Yep, I've noticed that Edge does tend to get into these games where it's, really, really tight the whole time. And those games are always fun to watch, and I'm glad he won this week. I'm sorry, lost.
Yeah, he has a tough task next week as well. We'll get into that one later. Next one, Morehead State at Youngstown State. I'm sad. I'm not going to recap this game. Just know Morehead State won 47-30, and I'm just going to move right past this game. I don't want to talk about it more than we have mentioned by now. I don't know if you want to say anything about it as well.
No, to be honest, I didn't really pay too much attention to this game. On with Morehead won, so.
Yeah, I'm going to just move through it. Next game, Southeastern Louisiana at Delaware State. And this is just what we expect to see. A ton of offense, no defense. Delaware State getting the upper hand in the end, winning by a score of 63 to 46.
Yes, this game was fun, a lot of fun. It could have been higher if I didn't turn the ball over 4 times, but I did force 4 play turnovers as well as 2 fumbles on, like, I think a kickoff and a punt, so I got 6 turnovers total, so that helped me out, and then the 4th quarter, you can just ignore the box score from the 4th quarter. It was just I don't know what happened there, but it it was a good game for the most part.
A very good game, I will say. Offense is what we like to see here in the CAA. Next game, James Madison at Indiana State, and my detriment here was memeing on special teams. Is very poor for my health. Honestly, I wish I played Shake. Obviously, he's gone, so I couldn't play him. Apparently, this new Indiana State coach is good at MLR, is what Zand said to me. I lost 61 to 28 against Indiana State in the Sycamores. Yeah, it was very very bad, very very bad.
Yeah, that's why I don't meme on special teams. It tends to give you issues if you do it too much. So I learned my lesson. I think it was my second or third game. I forget who it was, but I just had I had a number of kicks returned for touchdowns. That's all you need to know. It's never meme on special teams. That's something that
Yeah,
if you do it,
I
you
mean
have to be careful.
it's hit or miss, but most of the times I miss. The problem it always happens to me in the first game of the season as well. My first game ever, season 3, when I played Uga, who was at Stony Brook at the time. That was a very bad memeing on special teams game. I lost like 77 to 24, so that was poor. And then season 4, I played Columbia week 1. I didn't meme as much, and I did win by like 21 points. So that was kind of crazy. So maybe the key to me winning is just not memeing on special teams. I look ahead to Brown next week and will not meme on special teams once the whole game. And I can promise you that. And we
Yep.
looks like Ryan and Cece can talk now. So if you guys have any thoughts that you missed, anything you want to say before we keep moving through the game recaps, go for it.
Hello. Holy cow. I have nothing to add right now, but you know what? And Ryan's in too. Looks like, yeah.
I'll let you all continue. I'll join into the next game.
All right, perfect. Next game is Richmond at Hampton. And the question here is what went wrong for Zand? No one knows, really, but I do have a sneaking suspicion that these Spiders will be working on ball security, seeing as they lost 3 fumbles. C Rex able to pull off the upset of the week, winning 37 to 28.
Oh boy. So I was surprised when I saw the score. To be frank, and I'm hoping that Zan fixes whatever happened and stays in good shape, or gets back into good shape. So let's hope for a down this week.
I've been saying it. I had Hampton ranked last week in my coaches poll. Don't underestimate them. They are very very sneaky good. I think I saw Richmond had a couple forced turnovers. I know they gave up a couple, but they also got some back. But unlike Hampton, they didn't convert on offense, so did pull out the game.
There's a model of consistency in fake college football. It's Zan, right? I think don't tend to overreact. See if he bounces back week 2, and good win for Hampton. See if they can continue that as well.
Yeah, I'm very very surprised that Hampton was able to pull this off. I mean, everyone touts Zan. Zan was ranked, I want to say, number 23, or they were up there in the coaches poll, obviously. But obviously Zan is still a very good coach. We're very happy to have him in the CAA, and they look to turn things around next week. And it looks like this will be our next game is Bryant at William and Mary. Not our final game recap, but Bryant got absolutely shut out by William and Mary, and this was by far the most surprising result because Bryant has a very good coach who did very well in the NIT, Hunky, and I mean, Bobo just shut him out. The final score was 30-0. Granted, the game didn't finish. It was called at the third quarter due to the deadline. But still a crazy game for Bobo. I mean, the defense was absolutely stout there.
Yeah, I saw that he forced a few turnovers, and he might have he might have forced a field goal miss as well. So that's really good job from him. Like, I knew he's good on defense, so I was just waiting for that one game where he just explodes on offense, and hopefully this could be a start for a trend like that for the season.
Yeah, it was a really solid defensive effort, but William Mary on offense just so efficient. Didn't every chance it got converted every time it needed to.
Yeah, I mean, there were some interesting things for field goal kicks. That is going to be my start of the week. I'll mention that right now. Uh, Bobo had two field goal differentials. One of them was 638 that actually went in because it was super close. It was like a chip shot. And the other one was like 430, which he missed because it was a little bit longer. I couldn't really pull anything else out for stat of the week, so that's just there. That's the only thing that was mentioned that was kind of interesting in the Colonial chat. Anyways, moving on to our last game, the big one. This was between Idaho, which is coached by Uga, and Delaware, which is coached by Larry, Troy, however you want to say it. I was right on a few things. Delaware controlled the clock, outgained Uga, and the teams were even on turnovers. However, in the end, Delaware finished with the lead and a score of 36-32. We got that game graphic right here as we continue talking about it. I mean, this was just classic Delaware. There's nothing out of the ordinary here. I was just expecting Idaho to pull through at the end, like some teams did against Delaware, but they weren't able to do it.
Yeah, I think that's a strong resume builder there for Delaware, even though I have them winning the CAA, excuse me. I think that win over Uga always goes a long way, and Delaware has just proven that they are possibly a top 5 team in the FCS.
Yeah, and so real quick, what I got wrong from last week, I missed on Duquesne, Morehead State, Hampton, Gardner-Webb, William and Mary, and Delaware. A 50-50 week for me. I guess I went under 500 because I didn't really call my game. I declared that a no call, so I was like 5-6-1 if you really want to count it like that. So I'm under 500 so far. I don't know, Matt. Did you remember your predictions from last week? Probably the same as mine. I know you missed a few as well.
I think mine were the exact same, except I had Ryland. I think I picked Ryland as well, so I think I was 5 for 12. Either that or 6 for 12. So pretty much the same.
Yeah, good enough. Moving on. Should be our power rankings, but we'll go through the player of the week. Our player of the week here on offense and defense both come from Delaware State, who put on an absolute clinic against Sela, Southeastern Louisiana. Sorry, I hate saying Sela. I don't know why I said that. Offense player, running back Simon McLaughlin had 26 receiving yards, 2 touchdowns, 11 carries for 146 rush yards, and 4 touchdowns on the ground, so 6 total touchdowns if you're counting at home. And on defense, Donald Vera had 12 tackles, 2 sacks, and a pick. So I don't know, Matt, you want to talk about your players' excellence this week?
This is the best game Simon's really had since the Houston Baptist game week 8 last season. So hopefully we can keep the Russian game going this week against Vinny. So overall, the team just played great. These two just were slightly better than the rest.
And then we go into our power rankings. So we only had 4 voters this week. I understand it's a slow week. I'm in that finals coming up, things like that. We were able to get 4 people to vote. Should be Delaware in first place with 48 points. Towson in second with 44. Delaware State coming in third with 30 points. Robert Morris with 29. Richmond and William and Mary closing out the top half. At 7, we see New Kids, Snoop, and Lancer at Youngstown State. Duquesne 8, Nova 9, VMI 10, Morgan State 11, and finally bringing up the rear is myself at 12. And I kind of deserve it after the atrocious showing I had against Indiana State. I hope to pick up against a win against a ranked team in Brown, and so we'll see. If there's no thoughts, I can just keep chugging along here. Contender and pretender. My contender is Towson, because wow, the absolute clinic they put on against OSU kid. My pretender is Bryant, sticking against conference opponents here. I thought Hunky would do really well. Had a great offseason at Prairie Valley before going to America East, but to be blanked by William & Mary is not a good sign for Hunky. I mean, William & Mary has a good defense, but you got to score some points, right? Otherwise, you're never going to win a game.
Yeah, my contender this week is also Towson. That was just a fantastic performance against Southern Utah, I think is the school. And my pretender is going to be Fruity at East Tennessee State. He just got completely just smashed by Purple. Like, I was not expecting that. He went, I think it was 11-2 last year. So hopefully he can pick up some of those pieces and move on. But I just don't see him doing all that well if he doesn't fix whatever happened here.
I have two. I got one CAA team for both and one non-CAA team. For contender, I actually have Villanova. Don't sell your stock yet on Villanova. It was a really promising effort in the first game against Chatty. I'm not calling a rebound win against Penn this week, but I wouldn't be surprised. I think Villanova has a chance to do that. For the non-CAA team, I have Davidson. I think a lot of people kind of forget how good Davidson was last year. Fell apart at the end of the season, but if Davidson puts together a full season, watch out. They'll be right in the playoff hunt at the end of the year. And then pretender, I'm kind of out on Morgan State. Not putting up any points against Montana State's not great. Danny didn't really perform as well as he normally did last year, and I think you got to put up a better showing next week to have me buy back in. And then my non-CAA pretender is Incarnate Word because it's Moonfish.
That makes sense.
So I'm gonna go CFC contender pretender. I'm gonna go my contender, and they are ranked, but they don't seem to get a lot of love. It seems like is gonna be Zelk and Junie at Wofford, because they, I think, have figured it out. I think Junie's gotten over the offensive yips, and Zelk knows how to play defense. So, and then my pretender, I'll have to take a little jab here at Ryan, was the preseason CFC favorite that goes out and loses. I think he can bounce back, but it's only week 1.
Ryan, anything to say to that? I mean,
don't play hungover in the morning. It's a bad idea. I got blanked hard.
hey, live and learn.
Yeah,
we all make mistakes. Just don't play your next game hammered.
There
exactly.
you go.
All right. Moving on, we got our week 2 preview here. We're going to start off with our game of the week, actually, because we mentioned this before. It's a matchup of fellows. We've got Duquesne at Jacksonville. Jacksonville obviously coming off a huge win against ETSU. Duquesne coming off a big win against Stetson as well. I said fellows, Cooper. Don't. It's that Midwest accent, you know. Anyways, I'm predicting a Duquesne win. I really did not see them doing so well to start the season. But give me Duquesne in an absolute blowout. Give me Duquesne 42-7.
I am not going to predict that. Val is very, very, very streaky, and I don't know how she's going to play from week to week. Purple is the same way, but I think right now Purple played the better week 1 opponent and beat him by more than she beat her week 1 opponent. So I think Purple wins this by 20, maybe 42-21, something like that.
Yeah, a Jacksonville team momentum kind of scares me. I played Jacksonville last year when they were in a downswing, and it was an easier win. But when Jacksonville's rolling, they can play with the best in the country. So I've taken Jacksonville like 38-21, something in that range.
Yeah, both teams are super streaky. Going to have to go with purple and Jacksonville. They're going to continue to roll here. I'm going to give it to Jacksonville 38-21.
I ruined the sweep there, but that's all right. We've got our next game, the Montana State at Morgan State battle. This time it's actually Morgan State at Montana State. And I'm going to backtrack on my Ryland winning 3 out of the 4 games. I'm actually going to go with Montana State taking this one at home. And I'll say it's not going to be a shutout, but it's going to be, it's going to be a closer game. Still going to be a little bit high scoring, as I predicted last week. I'm going to hop on the meme numbers. I'll pick a 35-31 win for Montana State.
Not so fast. Personally, I think this could be I'm gonna call a sort of like a World Series situation where the home team wins each or loses every game. So I think Ryland might win the game like 17-10 or something because both the teams are fantastic on defense.
Yeah, as I said, I was out on Morgan State already. I think Danny and Montana State takes this one. I think comfortably. I think it's going to be a 31-7 victory.
It's a lot of points there for Danny. I've got not going to bet against Danny. He's model consistency as well. But I'm going to go with a low-scoring affair here. I think I'm going to go 13-3 Danny and go that route. He takes 2-0 lead.
Predictions coming in. Our next game is Davidson at Robert Morris. Both teams coming off wins against ASUN schools. I want to say Davidson beat.
Alabama A&M.
Who did Davidson beat?
They
Davidson
beat
beat Ampersand. Right. And Robert Morris beat Florida A&M. I'm going to say Robert Morris keeps the train rolling. They had momentum at the end of last season. They carried it through their first game. So what's stopping them from carrying it to the second game? Davidson stands in their path. Obviously, taking down a top 10 team is no easy feat. However, I do think that the top 10 ranking is kind of skewed, seeing how Ampersand retired after the game. So I'm going to say Robert Morris. I'm going to say Robert Morris gets the offense clicking and wins like 42-31, 42-28, something like that.
I'm gonna say Depp wins this. I'm gonna say if his defense returns to like what it usually plays, I'm gonna say he wins like 63-55. But if he continues to chew the ball, I can see him maybe scoring 30 instead, and the opponent scoring something like 20, somewhere in that range. But I think Depp wins.
I have a feeling it's going to be a 2-2 split here because I'm going Davidson. Obviously, a fellow conference member. Davidson early last year was very strong, and I think that it kind of continues here. A big win against a tough team early gives you a lot of confidence. So I'm gonna go. Davidson can score when he needs to. I'm going 45-38.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Davidson as well. Fun fact, Davidson's the only team that has been in the CFC that's still a member there longer than I have. But Ryan hit it right in the head. Davidson tends to get out to these 4-1, 5-0 kind of starts, and then gets into conference play, and it just falls apart. So I'm actually going to go Davidson here. I'm going to go with a blowout. I'm going to go 49-10 Davidson.
I love that.
That's bold. That's bold. Coming on the CAA team and picking a blowout. Okay, coming on the CAA podcast, I should say. Sorry. Anyways, next game, Towson at Lafayette. Lafayette coming off a ranked win against Albany. Can't overlook them. However, Towson is the CAA favorite now. And so I'm going to roll with the CAA team here. Keep my CAA picks coming. And I'm going to go Towson, a nice number here, 69-12. I don't see Lafayette scoring touchdowns, and I see Towson scoring a lot of them.
Yeah, I think Towson is going to absolutely crush Billy here. Didn't he go 2-10 last year? I think.
Yeah, something like
So
that. 3-9,
yeah,
2-10.
it's not going to be close, at all. I'm going to say 45-3.
Yeah. I mean, Lafayette had a big win against Albany, but I still think Towson is playing really sound football. I'm gonna go 35-24, maybe 42-24, something in that range. Towson.
Towson, your guys' dark horse to win the conference.
Not a
Yeah, they're
dark
probably the
horse. He's a
favorite.
front
He's a
runner.
favorite. He's a favorite. Well, he's
Yeah,
gonna
since
yeah,
Bernie left, he's the favorite.
he's gonna continue. I believe I play in week 5, so he needs to keep winning. So it helps my SOS. No, but he's gonna keep rolling. This is gonna be just an absolute beating. I'm gonna go 56. You know what? I'll go 56-0. And if it happens, let me tell you, if it happens,
That would be something.
that would be crazy.
That would be. Next game, Villanova neutral site game against Penn. This game will be at, I want to say, Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Obviously, both coaches are Eagles fans, and so it was fitting to have that game there. I'm going to pick the reigning national finalists, I should say. I think that's what you call them, championship game participants. Penn. I'm going to pick Villanova to start the season 0-2. Because Penn lost, I feel like they're going to come into this game. I feel like Jocks is going to do a little bit more, intense scouting on Edge. And I feel like Edge, I think he was using Pelo's sheet. So you can't go that intensely if you're using a single sheet. I feel like Jocks is going to pull out the numbers. She's going to, do all her calculations. And she's going to win by a score of 49-21.
I'm also going to agree that Jocks is probably going to smoke Edge in this one. Like, not going to be very close. I'm going to say 49-14.
So I had Villanova as a contender, and I did hint that I thought they could maybe win this game. I don't think they will. I think Jocks takes this one. I think gets the team back in shape after kind of a lackluster week 1 performance. I think it's a little closer because I think Villanova and Edge has kind of shown that he can play pretty well so far this season. So I'm gonna go like 31-24, maybe 31-21, something in that range.
Someone in chat put out that Jocks went 0-2 to start the season last year, and I'm going to agree with that. Edge is going to take this. Edge is going to bounce back here. It's going to be late. It's going to be a field goal late in the game. 24-21. Nova takes the win.
Ruining the sweep there for Penn, but it's a bold prediction. Next game, we have Youngstown State at Kennesaw State. This was originally going to be a marquee matchup. I could have seen this being a game of the week. The game day matchup. However, since Bernie's retirement, we see Snoop as the coach of Youngstown State, and it's a tough draw getting Judge, and I think Judge is going to prevail. I think Snoop just isn't acclimated to the FCS yet, and so I think Judge is going to pull ahead. And this one, in the first quarter, and never look back. I'm going to go by a score of 35-17, the final score. Kennesaw State wins.
So I'm undecided on this one. Snoop finished number 8 as the coach of Wisconsin last year. So he's clearly really good, but at the same time he's playing Judge. So I don't really know how this is going to work, but if I had to pick, I would probably say he would. I think Judge probably sneaks it out here like 35-31 or 35-28. Snoop will put up a fight, but he's going to sneak it out. Or
Yeah, I
Judge
like
will just barely sneak it.
I like obviously a good replacement for Bernie, but I like known commodities, so I'm taking Judge and KSU in a closer game. I think most might say. I think it might be a 38-35 type victory for KSU, but we grind it out to the last minute of the game, and KSU will pull away.
Yeah, I think Judge is going to take this. I think it's one of those games that's 50-50. But I think at the end, Judge takes this. I'm going to go with 27-24, much closer than anyone thinks, but Judge does win.
Next game on the docket here, we've got University of Delaware taking on North Dakota State. This game was an absolute classic last year. Delaware pulled it out on the last drive, and I think it's going to be the same. More of the same this year. I think it's going to be back and forth. I think this battle is going to go on and on and on. This will get a close game ping, and I'm thinking UD pulls out again, but this time on a late field goal when the game is tied. So I'm going to predict a 34-31 game.
I'm going to go with you on this one. I think Delaware sneaks it out again. I'm going to go with the exact same score from last year. It was 37-34, I believe, so I'm going to pick it again.
I'm gonna go a little bit differently. I think Delaware controls this one early and controls it late. I think it's closer than the score will tell you, but Delaware might win by 2 scores. I'm thinking probably like a 28-14 victory. Something in that range.
Delaware takes this game easily. It's not nearly as close as it was last year. I'm going to go 42-28. Game never out of hand for Delaware.
Fair enough. Next game, Delaware State travels to Central Arkansas. You got Matt versus Vinny in this one. I'm going to pick Vinny, actually. And the reason why is because even though Matt's offense is very, very highly touted, I think Vinny can pull away because Vinny's offense is also very, very good. And I see Delaware State's defense is struggling, giving up 46 points to Hornet, who is literally a middle schooler, and probably is not picking the best numbers. I'm going to go with Vinny here, and I'm going to go with Vinny in a close one. It'll be like 45-32, 45-31 actually, I'll say. That's more problematic.
Okay, so I'm not going to pick a winner, but that over-under feels very low because Jocks did a little calculation on it. The conservative over-under in this game is 96. So I'm going to say whoever wins, it's going to be like 77-73 because we both never play defense and have really good offenses and are both air raid. So I just have a feeling it's going to be just obnoxious and it's going to look like a meme game even though it's not a meme game.
Yeah, so
It's going to be one of those games.
I've never seen a team really shut down the DSU offense. And purely because of that, I think this game will be an obnoxious score. So if either team has to win, you have to keep scoring, and if you don't score, it's probably going to cost you in the end. I'm going to take Delaware State like a 74-62 game. So it's going to be something absurd.
Yeah, the rumor on the street is that Delaware State and Central Arkansas's defenses aren't even going to show up. I'm going to take Delaware State here. Kind of same path. I'm going to shoot the over here. I'm going to go 69-56 on this game.
Nice. Moving on, our fourth to last game, anyways, our ninth game, I should say, is going to be Brown at James Madison. I did finish ahead of Brown in the directional dispute. I would like to say that. However, Brown did do very well. I think they finished third or fourth. So this would be a good one. Obviously, Josh, I will be making fun of you every time I score. And I expect to be made fun of every time you score. I might call you like every time I put in a number, so expect a call from me like a couple times. Is Hornet really 15? Oh, that's so surprising. He looks so young. Anyways, sorry. Getting off topic here. James Madison versus Brown. Going to be a good one, and I'm going to pick Brown. Picking against myself here so that I have like bulletin board material. Like, hey, your coach doesn't even believe in you. So I'm going to go Brown by a score of 35-28.
I think Brown wins as well. I'm going to take something like 42-38. So that sounds about right to me because you both have good offenses and your defenses aren't the best either. So, yeah.
I'm probably going to follow the route of Brown as well. If Dort does not clean up offensively and does not convert on every drive possible, I really think this one might get out of hand quickly. I think Josh, when he can find a way to score, it's going to be really hard to get back into it. I think it's going to be a higher scoring game than that, something in the range of 54 to like 35 or something like that. You take Brown, yeah.
I got you, Dor. James Madison's going to win this game. They're going to bounce back from last week. Dor's going to figure it out. His offense is going to roll. It's going to come down to the end of the game, thinking 38-37, last second touchdown or field goal there to win the game.
Appreciate it. Thank you for the confidence there. Really need it going into this game after I just got rattled by Indiana State. So this will be a good one, actually. I'm really excited for this. I know, like, Brown did get to play in my tournament in the offseason. However, I did not get to play him. So I'm very, very excited to get this game under my belt. And I'm excited to see how this one will turn out. Moving on, we've got Northern Colorado at Richmond. I'm expecting a Zand bounce back here. I'm going to go Zand very, very big. I'm going to go Zand in a blowout, like 56-14, 56-17, something around that range. I think Zand activates the defense, activates the offense, activates the special teams. I said activates a lot there. I don't want to do that anymore. So give me Richmond big.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Richmond big too. Northern Colorado's defense is just awful. So I think Zand is gonna win like 56-20. End of story.
Yeah, this is I think it's a much needed game for Richmond. This is like a getting your feet set kind of game. I'm thinking something absurd probably as well, something in the range of like 56-7, 56-10. It's not going to be close. It won't ever be close.
Yeah, Richmond gets ready for conference play. They win in a blowout, 49-7.
Next game here that we have is going to be VMI playing a neutral site game against South Dakota. Correct me if I'm wrong. I do believe this game is going to be played in Hell, Michigan. And I'm actually going to go South Dakota, pulling off a big upset here against Season 3 Conference Champs, VMI. VMI has struggled, to say the least, starting off against Gardner-Webb. Now going into this game against South Dakota. I'm picking a South Dakota win in a close one. It'll be 31-28 is my final score.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good to me. Same score.
VMI has struggled ever since winning the conference season 3, so I am avoiding any time I have to pick that team. So I'm going Dan, South Dakota, taking I think VMI gets the offense rolling at least a little bit, but a little bit of a closer game, something in the range of 38-17.
Yeah, Dan, looks like I'm going to give you another win here. But this is going to be a high-scoring game. Thinking 49-45 area. Or just points are just going to be off the wall.
Next game here, our last game that we're going to call here, Sacramento State at William & Mary. William & Mary just absolutely blanked Bryant last week. And so I'm going to pick William & Mary here. Sacramento State was going to be an alt. I think they're coached by Grift. I want to say that is the name of the coach there. And so I'm going to pick William & Mary, and I'm going to pick another shutout. Give me the Bobo's defense. I am considering, and keep this on the down low, I might ask Bobo to be my defensive coordinator next year because of how well his defense has done. It's kind of crazy to think about it, but keep that on the down low. I don't even know if he wants to leave William & Mary, but if he does, I would be willing to accept him with open arms. And I think any coach would.
I think Bobo's gonna win here too. It's gonna be something like, let's go with 24-10. Low scoring because I think Bobo's option still, and I'm not familiar with Sacramento State's playbook, but Bobo chews a lot, so I'm just going to say the Heat wins 24-10.
Yeah, I'm joining the William and Mary hype train. I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. I think it's to be something close, similar to what we just saw. I think 28-7. I think there's a score for Sacramento State, but I think William Mary's defense really carries the team for the win here.
William Mary
Nice.
keeps the defense train rolling. You win easy here, 24-0.
2 shutouts called for this William and Mary defense. Anyways, moving on to our listener questions, and real quick, we've got CAA or CFC co-commissioner, I should say, Captain CC. He's got his Hall of Fame announcement that he'll go through. I wish I could have whipped up a graphic for it, but I've been busy, studying. So you just get the listener topic graphic for this one. Anyways, take the show away, CSU.
Yeah, so as everyone knows, we now have a Hall of Fame in fake college football. It encompasses FBS and FCS. You can be elected into the Hall of Fame based on being an admin or being a coach. So the first class has 4 members, all of everyone knows. They're all going to get write-ups. We're going to put it on the wiki. We're not going to go through. I'm not going to read all the write-ups. But without further ado, the first unanimous election into the Hall of Fame was Watchful, and his big contribution to fake college football was obviously the RefBot. If you guys don't know about, I guess, developed the RefBot. Games used to be umped by humans like they are in MLR, and he's eliminated that and made this community really thrive in the right direction. The second highest vote getter for the Hall of Fame was the one and only Baba. He received 14 out of 15 votes, and he was elected in as an admin as well for all of his contributions that he does. You guys see a lot of the stuff he does as the face, but there's also a lot of stuff that he does for the commissioners that helps in the background. A lot of stuff he gets us put in the right direction and getting stuff taken care of, filling coaching vacancies and stuff like that. And this third was Dick. Dick is credited for the creation of fake college football, and he has a write-up as well for him as well. And then finally, the last person, which a lot of you may not know, but Rule D, who was the original Baba. A lot of the FBS guys know Rule D, and that's kind of shown in the votes for the Hall of Fame. A lot of the FBS guys voted him in, and he received 10 out of 15, and Dick received 11 out of 15. There's going to be an announcement when I get the wiki up and rolling. So, but that is the first class, 4 members. I can't think of 4 better members to be elected into the first class of the fake college football Hall of Fame.
Thank you for that. I am not surprised. I'm kind of surprised that Dick didn't get that many votes. As people are saying, he literally created the dang thing. Like, we wouldn't have this without him. So I'm surprised that he did not get as many votes as he did. Anyways, moving on to our actual listener questions. First one coming from Pello. Is Delaware going to just waltz to a conference title now that Youngstown State is gone? And my answer is no. First, we've got Bobo looking to be a big challenger in the South. However, I will say that the door has just swung. I don't know if that's a real word, but I like it. So widely open for Towson after YSU's retirement that you could almost call it a tunnel. I mean, Towson could absolutely cakewalk to this if they play their games well, if they call the right numbers. I think Towson could be a big contender coming out of the CAA.
I'll jump in. Yeah, I go Delaware too. It's easy walkthrough for Delaware, I think. Towson's good, but I think Delaware takes this. It's theirs to lose at this point.
I think
I think I'm gonna go.
Oh, you go.
Oh yeah, you go. Okay. So I think Delaware probably has the best shot right now. And obviously is next in line, but Delaware will depend on how well they do in their division, because at one point last season we had a 4-way tie. So, and if that repeats itself, anybody could be coming out of the South. So, just depends on how things roll out in those first 2 or 3 weeks of conference play.
Yeah, I see Delaware probably getting to the game pretty comfortably. But the North is, I think, what intrigues me. I think Towson, Morris, and Villanova are gonna kind of go back and forth. We'll see, like, 1 week looking like Villanova might take it. The next week, Robert Morris just out of nowhere steals the spot, and then come week 12, Towson's going to the championship game. But I still think Delaware probably takes it.
Next question, still from Pello. What is your favorite type of door, and are open windows doors? I'm going to answer this right away, obviously, seeing as my name is, door. I'm a classic light brown wooden door with a round metal doorknob type of guy. Like, if you have that type of door, you are instantly my friend. And open windows are not doors. End of discussion. Doors have panels or they have like slots. Open windows do not have any of those, and so open windows are not doors.
Uh,
I like me a good barn door.
barn door's good, man.
I do like me a good barn door.
I like me like a sliding pocket door, like a sliding glass door, but a pocket it slides away. So like when it's nice outside, you can open the pocket door, the sliding glass door that slides into the house, and you have no there. You just have the track. That's my kind of favorite door.
I'm just a fan of that, like Dor said, the classic light brown wooden door. Um, not any particular wood type, but just that general style is perfect to me.
Next question here. This one is coming from one of the hosts here today, CC. He said, "Give me two teams that surprise you in conference and out of conference." So in conference, I'm going Bobo, Robert Morris. Out of conference, I'm going Indiana State and Montana. And then disappointed you. In conference, I'm saying myself and Richmond. And out of conference, I'm saying Northern Iowa and Elon.
Okay, so two teams that surprised me in conference. Bobo and Depp, I'm gonna go with that. And then out of conference, I'm gonna go with Bobo's opponent, Hunky, and um, uh, let's go with Jacksonville. I was not expecting him to beat Fruity by what was it, 25 or 30? So, and then disappointed Dor and definitely Youngstown State. I was not expecting them to lose by 17 in Moorhead, and then I was disappointed in Elon as well. I was really, and also Uga. I was a little disappointed in him.
I think I'll give a CAA team and then a CFC team. But for surprised, I was quite surprised with Will and Mary. Definitely, that was a solid effort. In my own conference, probably Gardner Webb. I did not expect a big win like that over VMI. As for disappointed, in the CAA, I'm actually I'm gonna go with Richmond. Yeah, I had a lot of high hopes for Zand and hoping that the season of the loss wasn't big. And then in my own conference, I'm gonna go myself. That was just outright not good enough.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I think we're all on the same page with the shutout. We all have to go Bobo, right? Like I think that's just given. Disappointed in the CA. I'm gonna go Youngstown State. With the Bernie leaving and stuff like that, I think that just kind of caught me off guard. And I'm gonna go with Ryan. I'm gonna go with my in conference, who surprised me the most. It's actually some teams, the new coaches that lost, but they lost close games. So Furman and Western Carolina. And then who disappointed me, I'm probably have to go Canner and NCA, North Carolina A&T. So
Nice. Next question here. So from CC, what team should be concerned after week one? I'm going Zand. And right off the bat, I know, like, this is obviously I'm kind of biased because I'm in conference, but if Zand can't right the ship early, he's talked a lot of talk. He has a lot of bulletin board material, and yet he wasn't able to deliver. And so I'm gonna keep an eye out for Zand here. And then kind of along that, what team has a must-win week two? I'm gonna go with UNI because there are teams in the MVC that have proved themselves. Indiana State just blew me out. Obviously, I'm not that good, but still. a lot of points scored on me. And a few other MVC teams have absolutely balled out this week. And so I'm looking at UNI and I'm saying you need to win next week. Otherwise, you could be out of the race for a conference title.
I'm going to agree with you on the team that should be most concerned. Zan, even though we in this conference have a lot of teams, I think we had 9 last year that had between 5 and 6 wins. That is not fun, especially if you're in the CAA South, where I was a second place team with 6 wins. So if you can't win out of conference, you're going to have trouble once you get conference play because we're always all beating each other. And then, which team has a must-win week too? Me. Vinny is my easiest game until I think week 6. Oh, sorry, no, week 6 is Delaware. So my next 4 games go after him. Go Youngstown State, Richmond, North Carolina A&T, Delaware, William Mary, VMI in that order, I think. So I gotta win this game, or else I could get like a 6-game slide if I'm unlucky enough.
I'm gonna continue my one CAA, one CFC team. I think for the team that really should be concerned is Youngstown State. There's a tough out of conference slate, and then not even to put on the fact you have to play in the CAA. It's going to be tough to get wins for Youngstown State. And then in my own conference, I'm actually going to go NC Central. I had a lot of high hopes for that team, and they just, wasn't even close. Jackson State just killed them. As for a must-win in week 2, I think honestly in the CAA, James Madison, Door. I think you need a win here this week. South is too competitive, and not having enough wins could really kill you for NIT and playoff hopes later in the season. And then in my own conference, I'm gonna go Canner. I think Canner is in a position where he needs to win. That North Division is always sneaky good. So getting out of conference wins are huge.
Yeah, in the CAA, team that team that I'm concerned about right now is going to be Youngstown State. Coming off a national championship or a playoff bid, I should say, and a new coach. CAA had a lot of hopes there, so I think there needs to be some bounce back there. And then I'm going to jump into the CFC. Biggest concern right now is going to be with Elon, who is kind of leading the way for the CFC. I do think that kind of ties into week 2, or the second question, sorry, where I think Chase needs a win here, and I think Elon, but not only Elon, but I think the whole North Division in the CFC needs a win here. If not, I think we run the risk of having some issues come at the end of the season.
It could really hurt us for any more than a 1 bid.
Yeah.
Next question's coming from Sarah. Is it finally time for University of North Dakota to turn the corner? And I'm saying yes. I love seeing North Dakota thrive in FFCS. However, if they could not thrive in real life hockey, that would be cool. Obviously, seeing as I'm an Omaha fan, you got a big rivalry there. And so I'm going to stay away from hyping up North Dakota too much.
I think North Dakota definitely. Yeah, why not? I mean, they have like 9 wins all time, right? Like they deserve to finally have some success, and plus they're Reddit only, so just go off, get 8 wins. I mean, no one's stopping them at this point. Well, except for their conference, but why not?
Sarah, it's time. Let it shine, baby. Let's go. Start winning some games, and you know what? Let's make the playoffs this year. That's what I'm going to ask you to do.
All right, Ryan's got nothing to say for that one, so I'll keep moving on. We got Fruity asking the next question. What do you make of all of the upsets in Week 1? Is it a shift in power? Is it something with the new playbooks? Or is it just a fluke? I'm going to say we were asked this almost the exact same question a season ago. It's always going to happen week one. We're going to see new players rise up. We're going to see old players fall. We're going to see faces of the league play to the capability that we know them to play to. Upsets are bound to happen, and so I'm going to call it a fluke.
I'm going to call it a fluke as well. I don't think the playbooks are really that much affected because I still scored 63. I mean, I think it will definitely balance itself out as the season progresses. So I'm definitely going to go with a fluke here.
Yeah, it's a fluke. 1 week of fake college football, not really indicative of really anything, to be honest with you. Ask this question come like week 5, and I think you have a better pool of numbers to look at that can give you whether new playbooks are really creating this, or there's like I said, the newer coaches are rising and the older coaches are kind of falling.
Oh, I just clicked away from my stream to open the Gmails, and now it's loading. But I think the next question is from Josh. If I can get there. Okay, it says what game results surprised you the most? I'm saying Bobo blanking Hunky. I know the game didn't finish, but holding a team scoreless through about like 3 1/4 of quarters is a big deal, a very, very big deal.
I'm going to agree with you, and Hunky is good. I was not expecting Bobo to shut him out 30-0. So William Mary might be having their breakout season. So yeah, I was just totally blindsided by that win.
I'm actually going to go a bit off the wall here and go with Aki and Sacred Heart over Chase. That one really surprised me. I thought Chase would kind of handle that one pretty comfortably. Definitely not the case. And then biggest bounce back. I want to have faith in myself, but I don't know. I think I'm going to go with... honestly, I'm going to go with Nova. I think Nova will be... Watch out for Nova against Penn. That game, I think, will be really, really close.
CC left, but looks like Josh got a little ahead of the script there. The next question was, who will have the biggest bounce back? Or sorry, looks like Ryan got ahead of the script. My answer was Penn. Penn got a tough draw facing Habes week 1. Expect them to be back as they face Nova at a neutral site.
I'm just going to go with Penn here. Easy as well. I just think that they should be able to just crush Nova next week. They usually do, I think, after they lose. So I'm fully expecting it.
All right, seeing as Ryan has answered that question, let's just keep moving through. Next question's from Western Illinois. Who do you think will be ranked number 1, and why is it Western Illinois? My answer, I hope it's Habes ranked number 1, but I'm pretty sure that it's going to be Brady, and it's not going to be Western Illinois. However, I did rank Western Illinois, so I think they're in like number 17, number 16, something like that.
Yeah, I hope it's Brady ranked. That's who I personally have number 1. And then, yeah, it will definitely not be Western Illinois.
All right, we'll just keep moving through then. Next question coming in from What's Up. Buy or sell, the America East is in trouble after week 1. I'm going to sell. The America East got multitudes stronger this offseason. It is not in trouble, even after a fair share of losses in week 1. However, if the same trend keeps up in week 2, I will probably come back and buy this statement.
Yeah, I'm right with that. Never want to overreact in the first week. But show me 2 great weeks of bad AE out of conference play, and I could totally be on board with them being in trouble.
Yeah, I'm going to sell as well. I'm going to say there's too much talent in the conference to really be in trouble yet. I'm going to double down on Ryan. I'm going to say give me 3 weeks before I'm really confident in making a decision.
Fair enough. Next question coming in from Cooper. Buy or sell? The Tri-State in the America East is going to be a shit show again. I'm saying sell. It's going to come nothing close to the Tri-State from last season. Nothing is ever going to come close to that.
I'm a buy, but like with an asterisk. Like I believe that division will be crazy, but we will not get a 5-7 Long Island team in the playoff.
Outer. I think it's possible, very possible, depending on how out of conference goes and how much these guys, how much they infight and cannibalize each other. So it's definitely possible, but so I will be buying.
And our last question here: which conference shocked you this week with their performance? I'm gonna say Dick in Missouri Valley. I just got rocked by an MVC team, and I know a couple of the schools that did. However, the big MVC teams also lost. I mean, case in point, Northern Iowa. And Delta is just doing really well, better than I expected them to do. Obviously, they have Brady, but they're getting big help from the likes of, like Vinny and other coaches in the Delta.
I'm gonna do two sides of the coin. I'm definitely joining the DIC hype training. That was a great first week. I think you need to repeat that performance for me to be in on it. And then who really kind of surprised me with a bad performance? Honestly, the A-Sun. Only 7-7. I know they lost a little bit of star power, but after a season like last year, only going 7-7 in the first week is kind of surprising.
Yeah, I'm gonna be on the same two conferences as Ryan. Actually, I'm gonna say that Dick really surprised me. Ham won a game against a pretty good team, not expecting that. Vinny blew out Northern Colorado, not expecting that. And then also, yeah, I also am going to say the Atlantic Sun surprised me as well. I was not expecting them to go 500. And now that Ampersand is retired from Alabama A&M, I don't know how they're going to replace that.
All right, well, that's going to be it for this week of CAA Today. I want to thank Ryan and CC who joined us from the CFC. I hope we have you back before the Week 5 show, so that it would be our Week 4 episode. I hope we have you guys back because that's going to be before the CAA CFC challenge. And so we're gonna call it there. It's been a good one. I hope you guys have a great holiday season. I hope you guys celebrate Christmas safely and with your families. And thank you guys for tuning in. If you're watching this on YouTube, obviously like and subscribe. And that'll be it for this one. Peace out.